Hello everybody, and welcome to Hungary's favorite language learning video blog. I'm your host, Michael Lyons. Today's video is the latest in a series of videos about Hungarian success stories. In other words, Hungarian companies that have succeeded in international markets. Joining us today is Director of User Assistance at LogMeIn, Michael Zwecker. He'll be telling us a little bit about LogMeIn, their success in international markets, and if we're lucky, he may even offer a little advice to Hungarian startups about their chances in foreign markets and what possible mistakes to avoid. So, welcome, Michael.
Thanks
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, can you tell us a little bit about the activity of LogMeIn in a nutshell? What exactly does the company do?
First of all, let me say that I can illustrate what we do through our slogan. It's simply connected, which is interesting because it's a bit of a play on words. The idea is that it's simple to connect. I'll tell you what we're connecting in a second. And simply connected, right, that you're just connected, simply as in just connected. Now, what are we connecting? Everything LogMeIn does is really about connecting computers, not in the sense of networks of computers like a Cisco or other big companies would do, but using or viewing one computer from another. So we have a variety of products really that all are built around that idea. One was originally oriented towards consumers who want to, let's say, work from home. They can access their work computer from home with a very simple setup. Another is for people who support companies, let's say a doctor's office or a lawyer's office that has computers, and the IT person can log in to those computers in that company's office and manage them remotely. Remote is a key word at LogMeIn. And another key product we have is for a help desk. So for example, you call with a problem about your computer and a technician can actually control your computer from wherever he's sitting in the world. And all of this is done rather elegantly and nicely, and we've had quite a lot of success over the years.
It's interesting because I knew about LogMeIn, and I even used some LogMeIn products for some time if I needed help remotely with, I had a computer problem, and there's a young computer engineer who really knows what he was doing. He's sitting, far away from me, and it wasn't even necessary for him to come to, my flat or my office to help fix the computer. He was able to do it through LogMeIn. And we used this product for actually quite a while before I even realized that it was a Hungarian company, because it just has a very, I don't know, international image, and people, I think even a lot of people here don't realize that it's a Hungarian company and a successful, very successful Hungarian company. So, can you say a little bit about when and how the company was established?
Yes, the company was founded in 2003. There are two key figures in the history of LogMeIn. One is a Hungarian, one is an American. The Hungarian is a gentleman called Angol. He's Vidéki, how would you say? He's a guy from the countryside. He's a guy from the countryside who just was an incredibly smart young man, and all through his youth, he told us stories at various times. He just did amazing things with computers, and he invented some fantastic technology with some of his other friends from the area, and that core technology became LogMeIn eventually, the core of
So would you say that he
LogMeIn.
was more of a technical guy? So he had a software, I don't know, IT technical background?
Yes, he was absolutely what we would call in traditional language a geek. So he was very much a hardcore computer guy, as well as the other Lucky Telek original guys. The other key partner came later. His name is Michael Simon, and he's an American who had been working in Hungary with various other startups, and he partnered with Márton, and they formed LogMeIn back in those days, around 2003. And together, these two really great minds, because they're both really impressive individuals, built the company. So often I like to say that it really was Hungarian company, but also an American company.
So kind of a joint venture in that
absolutely
respect.
A joint venture in that respect, that they each brought certain types of knowledge and ability to the table to work together to build the company.
You say that he's a bit of a geek, a techie, obviously has a lot of brain power, but do you think it was enough for him to just be smart and obsessed, I guess, with technology, or did he bring something else to the table? What else was necessary for LogMeIn to be a success?
Excellent question. He was very much aware of the business needs as well, and always through the years. As again, I wasn't there in the very beginning, but I was there during the time. I've been there since 2007. All through the years, you could really see that he was a true strategic thinker. So it wasn't just the marketing Americans and the techie Hungarians. Certainly in the person of Márton, you had an individual who could see the big picture very well.
So complex thinking.
Yeah, and really Michael Simon and Márton together were these very strong leaders, especially in the early years, really guiding the company and involved, heavily involved.
Okay. Here's a question. Where is LogMeIn at now? I don't know how many offices, how many employees do they have?
It's really grown tremendously. As I said, I joined in 2007. We had about 200 people then, and now we're over 800. It's really quite incredible. We're in Sydney, Australia. We're in India. We're in Dublin. We are in London. We are in Boston, Kansas, in the United States, and a few remote people around the world, programmers, developers. We now actually have partners in San Francisco, companies that were recently acquired, our company that was recently acquired. It's really been phenomenal.
So it went from a startup company with 3 guys, I think, to now a company with offices worldwide and 800 employees.
Yeah,
it's quite impressive.
It's really great.
It's interesting that you said, we. Because a lot of people working at companies would talk about the company, right? And there seems to be a very strong sense of kind of identity, which is a positive sign, obviously. And if I remember correctly, the company's been recognized as a responsible employer or a good workplace. What would you say about that?
I would say absolutely, and it's interesting you noticed that. Yeah, I've always said this has been a great place to work, and certainly my favorite workplace over the years. And we've won awards indeed in the Boston office from different newspapers that give that type of award. The guys here as well, I think, are generally very satisfied. It's a fun environment. We go on company outings. We just got back from Portugal.
Oh, wow.
They took the whole development team to Portugal. In this case, I say they, meaning the generous, high decision-making management of the company. So it's really great, and we are well taken care of, and lots expected. A lot is expected. We work hard, but again, there is a lot of pride, and again, from both sides of the ocean. Because again, I said we're everywhere, but the 2 main offices are in Boston and Budapest and Szeged.
Okay, that makes sense. Based on what you've seen with LogMeIn, how difficult is it for Hungarian companies to break into the international market? Do you feel that Hungarian companies or startups are at a disadvantage, and how competitive can they be abroad?
I'd rather not try to come across as too much of an expert, so I can simply speak from what I've seen and people I know who've tried to start their own companies. I think the key is to just do something very well. So if you look at the history of LogMeIn, one reason we were able to grow is that we had a core technology that simply worked very well, better than the competition. And that meant people came to us. We had a free model. A lot of people came because there was a free product as well. So if you're better, then it will happen. Now, it won't happen simply because you're better. There's also the marketing skill or know-how, right, to use that term. The marketing know-how of how to find the people who will actually pay you money. it's always easy to give something
right,
away.
if it's free.
So I think first of all, just be good at what you're doing. That's maybe a little too obvious, but the hard part maybe for Hungarian companies is to find that know-how of reaching the markets.
So you think the brain power is there, the technical skills are there, but
Yeah.
maybe there could be more focus or help on the marketing side.
Yeah, it seems to me that certainly the leadership, the thought leadership in the marketing area certainly come from the Boston office. And that's why I often say, if someone says it's a Hungarian success story, and this isn't at all about patriotism or anything, because I am American, the reality is that it is a partnership, it is a multinational endeavor.
Okay.
So, and that's not demeaning the
Sure.
Hungarian.
So that's a good lesson, that maybe instead of trying to go it alone and do everything by yourself, to be open to partnerships or collaborations if they're constructive and mutually beneficial.
Absolutely.
So that's good. Okay, and so based on that, the advice that you might give to Hungarian startups or startups in general would be to be open to not only developing a good product, but maybe to be focused a little bit on the market side and be prepared to collaborate if necessary.
And seek out that know-how if you feel you don't have it in your own organization.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Michael, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been a real pleasure and a real experience. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Remember to like us and share us on Facebook, spread the word to your friends, and of course feel free to post your comments underneath the video on the website. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you next time. Cheers.